My name is Inyene Ibanga, and this platform is a chance for you to really come abreast of issues as they relate to travels, and of course your right as a traveler, as a matter of fact. And also on the program, you'll be exposed to information that has to do with travels in general, as far as it gets to relating with foreign embassies, Ministry of External Affairs, that's talking about Ministry of Foreign Affairs, as well as that of Internal. On the program as well, we highlight issues relating to migration. And then we nosedive and take you right there into the menace of human trafficking, which is the kernel of the show. And of course, I don't get to do this all by myself because I have those who know better. And then joining me again on this program today, it's my pleasure to announce to you the presence of my colleague, Celestine Ije. He is a travels consultant and migration expert. Good afternoon and welcome to the People's Embassy.
Good afternoon.
Also, we are looking forward to being joined by our other colleague, that's Lois Adams, an anti-human trafficking campaigner who, of course, by virtue and the nature of her job, entails much of moving around. So we'll be looking forward to having her presence here on the program this afternoon so she could share with us and bring us up to date with happenings out there in the fields as far as the issue of human trafficking is concerned. Stay tuned. Of course, I'd like to inform you as well, you the listener, that in the course of the program, you'd have the opportunity to actually weigh in on the subject or topic of discussion, especially as it has to do with human trafficking, the ills, the consequences, and this is a platform, a chance for us to come out and share experience or even share words of counsel on how to nip this particular situation and bring it to the barest minimum, and also help to bring out those who are already in the clutches or those who have gone through and are passing through very terrible times as of this. You would call in the course of the program to actually be a part of the conversation. All right, it's coming up to 12 minutes past 3 o'clock right here on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. And without much ado, I'd like to say good afternoon once again to my colleague Celestine Ije.
Good afternoon, Yene.
Celestine, last week I was conspicuously absent on the show, but it was one of those things I needed to rush somewhere. And I'm so glad that you guys really took care of business while I was away. Now I'm back again with you. I just wonder, how was it like last week? Where did we leave off? And this week, we're going to continue. Lois, unavoidably, we're still looking forward to having her here, but we are expecting that she'll be giving us updates on happenings because she did embark on a lot of trips, across the country. And this issue actually spans the entire length and breadth of this country, Nigeria. So in your take, today is another Saturday, and here we are. How is it like on the issue of human trafficking?
Thank you, and welcome back from your long trip. Thank you for the field work you have gone to do, and welcome back. Starting from where we stopped last week we talked about the role of government, and we had a lot of callers that had to call to notice the need for government to be on its knees to provide the essentials for its citizens. When the basics are there, there are tendency for people to illegally migrate is highly reduced. Even when you are probably going to have people that will migrate illegally, the numbers or the percentage will be very small. But this time around, I'm probably going to throw the ball back to you. There's one aspect of society that have tend to not to bring this challenge to fore, the media. The media has not really put it to fore, has not really taken its role and carry out its responsibility to society. Why am I talking about the media, especially the Nigerian media? It took CNN to do an investigative journalism for them to discover that Africans, especially Nigerians, were being traded on the Women's Stock Exchange of in Libya. And the Nigerian media were so aghast with so much political news, so much news that are not beneficiary to the society, if I would say. Because for a long time now, this outcry of illegal migration has only been on the international news. Most Nigerian media houses only replay what they get from the international news or news agencies, and they are not there to do extensive investigative journalism. Why do people migrate at that high number out of Nigeria to other countries? What are the reasons? What are the challenges? And Nigerian media, for over a time, I've done my investigation. I've not been on its toes to really inform the public, especially the vulnerable citizens of this country, on the dangers of migrating legally, because you are exposed to prostitution, you are exposed to agents that might exploit you, that might force you into forceful labor, that might harvest your organs, so many other evils that are associated with this. Nigerians are migrating illegally every day from our airports, from our borders, from our seaports to other countries, and nobody's accounting for them. We don't know where most of our citizens are traveling to and why they are traveling there. Who is accountable for them? And nobody seems to care. Since government has gone asleep, the media or the press, which is the fourth realm of the estate, which has the responsibility to bring to fore these challenges, has not really done much. Thank you.
All right, I think I'm going to take you up on that, Celestine. Now, I'm happy to know that you and I belong in the system. We belong in the industry. So it's not a far cry. Part of the challenges that the typical Nigerian journalist or the media practitioner is experiencing in this part of the world. Now, I wouldn't want to be making excuses. Just a couple of days back, we celebrated the International Press Freedom Day, and you know what that entails. But I want to tell you, considering the scarce resources and, of course, the stifling environment as well, the Nigerian media hasn't done badly at all, especially given the fact that we still managed to come out and highlight the ills of what human trafficking is doing to our population and our nation at large, as it were. Now, for instance, this program, The People's Embassy, is one of the media's efforts, to bring this issue on the front burner. And when we talk about statistics, it becomes very difficult too, because the authorities who are supposed to be custodian of these statistics or data do not even have anything to show for it. For instance, our Foreign Affairs Ministry cannot tell you, off the cuff, exactly how many Nigerians are going out of the country today. They cannot. Now, when it even boils down to the underground, when these Nigerians are going out illegally, it becomes even more difficult. We talk about Nigerian Immigration Service as well. They come up, they'll highlight their own challenges as well. But I really want to give it to the media. The media has been doing its effort in terms of what do? We keep talking about this issue.
I'm not exempting myself. That's the effort we are putting on ground to make sure.
Part of what we're doing.
Yeah, to make sure we bring to fore what is happening. But the core media, the majority of media houses, has not seen it as a news item to put on their news. We shouldn't make excuses for them. If you look at the Constitution, there are four persons that that were actively named in the Constitution. You have the executive, you have the judiciary, you have the legislative, and you have the press. That's what they call it, the fourth realm. So they are meant to call to bear those other three arms that are not up and doing. Because legislatively, we are not making laws to tackle this issue. On the executive side, policies and programs are not being designed to curb this. If you look at the judiciary, how many people have been successfully prosecuted? What are the penalties? What's our gain legally or using the judiciary arm to carry out? You find out we have not really done what we need to. Why I need to call ourselves to be the press is we need to sit up. This should be our news item every day because people are traveling every day. Yes, you might have a little or inconducive environment or what excuse, but even with the little you have, you can still do much. Because when we're talking about illegal migration, we're not only talking about the international aspect of it. We also there's a local part of it, whereby people migrate from the rural
to the urban
area, and their challenges also because you find out that most of these people are enslaved, even while in Nigeria. You find out that we have baby factories where this crime are being committed every day. You have brothels, you have hotels that are being used as transit point. These are localized challenges we can take so to also nip in the bud, because when we're not able to tackle the local aspect of it, you can't tackle the international, because you need fund, you need collaboration, you need cooperation, you need information from quarters that probably will not want to give you, and there are also security challenges. But the local aspect of it, we are not taking it to bear. How many of our media have gone to the embassies? Take some embassy and go there, ask questions. Why are Nigerians migrating to your country? What is the big deal of the citizens of this country migrating to your country? How many of them are migrating legally? How many of them are coming back? What are the migration challenges that Nigerians are giving you your own country? That for me, that doesn't take so much fun. It needs us to be up and doing, because until we bring it to bear and we bring it to the notice of the public, people will just probably do something out of ignorance or out of share misinformation, because a lot of people that also travel out of being misinformed. They will tell you it's greener at the other side. When you get to that side, just within 3 weeks, you start making it. But then when you get there, it's not what you have been told that you will see. You find out that the challenges you were initially running away from is going to be greater on the other side. Even when some people will tell you that, oh, it's better I go to the other side and suffer than be on this side. But if truth needs to be told, people need to be informed so that when they are migrating, they migrate legally. People know that migration is a right, is a fundamental human right. Okay. Nobody can impede you from migrating, but you have to migrate within the necessary laws of every territories and countries which you are entering, because every countries and territories have their own culture, they have their own social life, they have their own different aspects of life that may be different from you. So you need to understand. People need to be educated about what you do. There was a documentary on the effects of migrants on Israel. Mm-hmm. You know the Jewish people, they value this their worship temple, and unfortunately there's a bar across that normally does not open on their prayer days. But because of the influx of migrants
to that
environment, they brought their own culture. And at the end of the day, they had to shut that synagogue. For not just cause, just because people that don't even understand their lifestyle. And the citizens of this country will be seeing those people that say, you have made us to shut our prayer house, what we hold sacred, just because you don't know what our culture entails. And that's why you see most times people get killed when they travel to other countries.
Xenophobia will now rise.
The xenophobia we have in South Africa are some of the challenges people create.
They now feel upset and grieved that foreigners have invaded their lands and upset, and trampled upon their cultures and customs. No.
So the media needs to bring it to the fore, because every now and then we keep on reporting xenophobia in South Africa. How many of our journalists have gone to investigate what are the reasons for this xenophobia? None. We only report when it's high. Nigerians are being killed every day. Is it in Malaysia? Is it in Indonesia? Is it in Thailand? Nigerians are in prisons in Thailand. You don't need to travel to Thailand to get those information. You can get across to their embassy here. They will furnish you with the necessary information. But the media is not doing enough. The media needs to be on its toes this time around to save the citizens of this country, the good citizens of this country, of this menace of traveling illegally.
I appreciate your point there. This is a whole lot of wake-up call on the media. And for me, as far as I'm concerned, I do know that the challenges of actually carrying out investigative journalism is huge. Now, when you talk of the resources that are required, the equipment, it entails traveling, it entails you, and it's not something that you have a fixed period, because you might want to get certain information. You need to keep repeated visits to that particular environment, and that costs money, costs time, it needs patience. So I think the challenge here is we're just calling on appropriate authorities and all of those who are stakeholders in the industry to see as much as they could assist in this particular area, because I agree with you that most times issues of this magnitude are always broken by the foreign media, because they have the wherewithal to actually undertake such investigative voyages. But at the end of the day, it appears this part of the world, the media is not working. But then, considering the stifling environment and the scarce resources available or at the disposal of the journalists, the challenge here, it becomes even more heavy, but we can still do more with the little that we have at hand. I guess I got you correctly there. But then you also need to highlight that stakeholders should do something about addressing that issue. Investigative journalism.
We are all stakeholders. We are also doing the best we can, but truth be told, there are so many ways we can go about it without really hurting ourselves. But however, that doesn't also stop us from also highlighting the great percentage that goes to government. Because sometimes for you to even access most of this information, or even have the courage to even proceed on, so even government organizations don't even release information. It's hard for you to go to any ministry or parasita and tell them that you need social information. You don't know, even at the airport, you can't even know, okay, which country that do Nigerians travel to most times, and for what reasons? Is it for business? Who is on the other side that is taking the statistics of people that are entering that country, for what reason, and why are they? How many are leaving at the actual time they're supposed to leave? How many are staying behind? Or whereby we have challenges with our citizens at the other side of the world, what are the collaboration we are doing with other foreign governments to bring them back and rehabilitate them? Because as we are saying now, there are a lot of Nigerians that are stranded in foreign countries that want to come back.
Very many.
There are many. Some of them don't have documents. I have somebody that called me from Italy. He traveled about 10 years ago and he doesn't have a passport again.
So right at this moment, he's struggling to see.
He's struggling to come back
out of Italy.
So we need to educate them on what documents they need to come back. Like I was saying the other time, there are some emergency documents that citizens can travel with. It's just for you to either declare yourself to a police station that you want to go back to your country, or you go to your embassy and say you have lost your document and you need to go back to your country.
You're talking about the police station in the host country.
In the host country.
Okay.
Because they will not get in touch with your embassy. Right. Because if you say, oh, I'm Mr. Celestine, I'm from Nigeria, I need to go back to my country. I feel I'm tired of this country. I came here and I've overstayed. I need to go back. They will take you to the embassy, or they will take you to the United Nations organization, or international migration organization, which handles migration all over the world. They will put you on the next available flight and give you the necessary document for you to board and go back to your country. So people need to know. People need to be informed. That's why I'm calling on the press, my colleagues in the media, to be up and doing, so that we inform our citizens. Some of them are stranded in Libya. They are looking for ways to come back. They don't know what ways to come back. Some of them are on their way. They are still listening to us. We need to discourage them not to migrate illegally, even while the challenges is great. We just continually need to hit it. At least in every day of our news item, we should take that as a priority to make it one of our foremost news item every day, to highlight the ills of traveling illegally, the ills of prostitution, traveling overseas to do prostitution, child slavery, sex, and the rest of them. So we need to highlight it. The media need to highlight it so that people will know. But when you start hitting it every day, you continually save one Nigeria that's probably wanting to travel overseas. Thank you.
All right, we'll be going back there to Celestine EJ, in-house immigration expert and travel consultant, where today is really talking about the need for the media to brace up as well and do as much as is needed to also educate Nigerians. But on the scorecard, Human Rights Radio is not doing badly, though.
Yeah.
And I want to believe that other media organizations as well as stakeholders in the industry will be giving heed to this particular advice and see how we could redouble efforts on sensitizing Nigerians on the ills of this. And also, government authorities must do the needful to ensure that information is available to Nigerians within and outside the country on how to go about handling certain matters that affect their lives. It's about 29 minutes to 4 p.m. and it's time for us to take a break now as we go pay some bills. I have a question for Celestine that will be coming after that timeout. And again, for you, the listener, I know you're already itching to be a part of this program. Just stay tuned. When we return from that break, we'll be opening the phone lines so you can weigh in on the topic of discussion. Stay tuned.
Ana shawartar mazauna birnin tarayya da su kasance masu mayar da hankali kan abubuwa da suka shafi tsaron kawunansu, a kuma kiyaye fita cikin dare barkatai, bugu da ƙari, mu kuma kasance masu saka idanuwa kan rayuwar 'ya'yanmu, musamman kan abubuwa da suka shafi shaye-shaye. Mu kiyaye daukan mutane barkatai akan hanya, don hakan kan sawa ki rasa ko ka rasa motarka. Mu kiyaye aje abubuwa masu amfani a cikin motocinmu yayin da muka faka motocin. Sa'annan mu daga gilasan motocinmu sannan mu kulle kofofinsu da kyau don gudun fadawa cikin hannun bata gari. Mu dinga kulle kofofin gidajenmu da wundunansu da kyau. Sa'annan mu kasance masu kulle makarin gidanmu kafin mu fita don kauracewa azzalumai 'yan sani. Wannan saƙo ne daga sashin tattara bayanai da sanarwa ta birnin tarayya FCTA.
àwọn olùgbé FCT nímọ̀ràn láti máa fura dáadáa kí wọ́n lè máa gbé láì léwu. Ẹ má jáde alẹ́, ẹ má lóògùn nílòkulò, ẹ máa fojú sáwọn ọmọ yín lóòrèkóòrè. Ní gbogbo ìgbà, ẹ rí i pé kọ́kọ́rọ́ ìdáàbòbò ọkọ̀ yín wà ní títì gbẹngbẹng. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá sì fẹ́ jáde alẹ́, ẹ rí i pé ẹ ti fèrèsé ọkọ̀ yín dáadáa. Ẹ má gbàgbé àwọn nǹkan tó níye lórí sínú ọkọ̀ yín, àgàgà. Láwùjọ ọ̀gọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn, kó má bàa fa ọgbọ̀n jálẹ̀kùn. Ẹ rí i dájú pé àwọn ilẹ̀kùn àti fèrèsé ilé yín wà ní títì pa nígbà gbogbo kọ́dàrún ọmọ bá láǹfààní àti wọlé o. FCTA Information Department ló mú ìkéde yìí wá sétí gbọ́ yín. Dem don advise FCT people make it and dey vigilant for safety matter o. No dey go out for night. No abuse drug. Monitor your pikin dem well. Make sure say your motor security dey kampe. If you wan comot for night for jolly, make sure say you no leave better thing wey get value for inside your motor, especially anywhere plenty people dey. Make you no attract bad people there. Make una close your house doors plus include the window every time. Make criminal for no enter. This message now from FCTA Information Department.
ndị ọma na-ege ntị ana m asị udo dịrị unu a na-eme ka onye ọbụla mara na ọ na-adị mma ike nkwụcha wee na-asị onye ọbụla gbaa mbọ tinyere ụmụaka ya anya mara ka nwa gị si eje mara ka nwa gị si anata onye tinyekwa n'aka n'ịnwe ọgwụ na-ekwesị ekwesị ma ise nke osise maka na ọ na-emebi ndụ mmadụ a na-eme ka ị mara na ịpụ n'abalị na-ekwesị ekwesị adịrọ mma ị ga-apụgodo n'abalị a na-eme ka ị mara na ọ dị mma ịkpọchisi ụgbọala gị ike ekwekwana ka ihe bara uru dị n'ụgbọala gị maọbụ n'efifie maọbụ n'abalị maka na ife ọbụla bara uru dị n'ụgbọala ọ na-ebute anya ndị omekome a na-eme ka ị mara na ọ bụrụ na ị nọrọ na be gị ma ọ na ị na-apụ apụ fie isaa n'anya ka ị mara na ụzọ be gị na mpio be gị na ịkpọchisiri ha nke ọma maka ndị omekome wee na-asị atụọrọ ọmara ihe mana atụọrọ ofeke ofenye isi n'ọhịa ozi a site n'aka ngalaba ịgbasa ozi ọma FCTA wee na-erute unu ntị
amagbage aje eyifila Abuja kinsidei agaishawalage ilarogu azin yakanyin nabenu kwai mbatatnajileyu yitashizalaba nsukwai yitasan ayasasin yiche yimiashigbenu kwai yije yikaya biwe nsahasahai nhanyadailo haji hakogudeidei nsahasahai nhbabianu nsukwai haidnala na zaboye tafayamana na anya dnayo yekwashin kwa gyanza nu kwa ibechei yishi akwaba guvie na bi nsahai na vitabo ababa lefin yebede kwai kokun Abuja kizedna awidna bokunu
the whole of Africa come along with me let me unveil the face of Nigeria.
Residents of the FCT are advised to be more security conscious so as to keep safe, avoid late-night outings, and always ensure you have your car security locks on and wind up windows if you have to go out at night. Be careful who you give lifts to avoid car snatching. Never leave valuables in your car, especially in public places, as this will attract burglars. The general public is also advised to abstain from drug abuse, as this can lead to more crimes in the society. Always keep an eye on your children. Ensure that your house doors and gates are locked at all times to prevent intruders from gaining access to your home. Know your neighbor. If you see something, say something. Stay safe, stay alive. This message is from the Information Department, FCTA.
Welcome back to the program, The People's Embassy, here on Human Rights Radio, 101.1 FM Abuja. And I have with me in the studio, Celestin EJ. He is a travel consultant and migration expert. And together he's been giving us insights and perspective on some of those factors that are actually fueling human trafficking. And just before we went on that break, he did say something about the right of anybody who has challenges of maybe relocating or leaving any country of where he's staying, where maybe his resident permit or passport is expired, that there are certain laid down internationally acceptable procedure. And you were talking about someone easily walking to the police station to tell them, look, I have overstayed my welcome here, or my documents have expired, and I want to go back to my country, and he gets attended to. Now, my question is this. Are all countries, signatories to this kind of international statute? Because I do know that some of these security agencies, agents or operatives in the foreign countries tend to manhandle, foreigners in such instances.
You are not far from it, but there are reasons why they might treat most citizens, especially if they perceive you to have contravened some laws. That means you are now vulnerable to any attacks from them. But the truth be told is that once you are stranded in the country, the best and the first place you are supposed to go to is the police station. Probably your embassy or your high commission is probably far from where you stay. So they will probably get in touch with the higher authority and to declare you that, oh, we have a citizen of such a country here, because any country you find yourself, your rights are still intact. Once you know your right, they will tell you these are what you shouldn't do, and these are what you do. And also they might need to investigate you. Probably you have committed some crime to know whether you are free to go back to your country. Why most people are scared from doing that is because that fear of having entered illegally and probably done some, carried out some illegal activities by working or by doing any other thing. So the tendency for them to be afraid to declare themselves to the police station, forward transfer to the embassy is always very not advisable for them. But the proper thing to do is to declare to a police station. They have the number and the wherewithal to contact your embassy and probably protect your right from any other persons or group of persons you might be running away from, because sometimes you are probably running away from a cartel or a group of persons that are probably brought into that country and they are using you, so they can protect you and refer you to the best authority, either your embassy or the United organization that handles women migration. Thank you.
Now, in a situation where you have problems, you went to law enforcement agencies, and they tend to maybe turn you back, or you find out that there are collaborators even with us within such law enforcement organizations. With you now staying there, you are so vulnerable, you don't even know where to run to, and your embassy is far away from you. What other ways or other means can such a person undertake to get himself out of the quagmire?
They have an emergency number. You just call them, that emergency number. They will probably, because the person you are talking to does not know you don't know the person. So once you call the emergency number, you tell them what you need and the challenge you are facing, because the emergency system has a recording device, so that the conversation between me and you is usually recorded. The time at which you picked my call and what I told you can be accessed by the legal authority. So the person in there is anonymous. Me too, I'm anonymous until I declare myself, probably declare my name. The person doesn't know who I am. The only thing the person will ask me, where are you? Where can we access you? Where can we get you from to know? Because at that point in time, they don't know under what condition you are probably calling them. So once you declare yourself to the person that you are speaking with on the emergency number, they will probably refer you to an appropriate place. If you're not comfortable with the police station, they'll probably link you with one or two organizations that probably, or an NGO for that case to assist you so that you probably migrate back to your country or to your state, depending on where you're. Even locally, you have a welfare department in most local government and police stations, whereby if you are challenged or if you are forcibly brought from the rural area to work in a urban city and you don't feel comfortable, you can easily report yourself to the welfare group, but they will probably take. So also it's done all over. But the tendency, because of the fact that most of us, most people that traveled illegally for that fear, they will not want to. But that's the best thing you can do, so that you don't run from fear and enter into trouble. Because what they normally do to them is this: once they bring them in illegally, they instill fear in them. See, you can't run away from this country. We run this country. There's nowhere you're going to run to that we can't access you. But let me tell you, if you're having a problem, and down there the emergency numbers are free and it's available everywhere, so you can even request for help from anybody, any passerby, and just dial the emergency number and you get help, compared to what happens in this part of this world. So you are as free as a bird to go to any country, please don't stay illegally. And if you are unfortunately to migrate illegally, there are procedures and processes for you to come back to your home country and enjoy your liberty.
All right, our time is drawing closer, and we just feel there is the need for us to allow you, the listener, to weigh in. And for those of you who are longing to be a part of this conversation, the time is here. Just call in to the number 080 33 22 1149. The number to call again is 080 33 22 1149, and be a part of the conversation. You have anything you want to talk about? Something you want to share with us? Or even some word of advice you want to pass across? Yes, to further stem this particular move. Let's go for our first call. Hello?
Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good afternoon. Kindly turn down the volume on your radio.
My name is Muhammad Kabiru. I'm calling from New Karu.
Okay, Muhammad Kabiru. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'm calling from New Karu. Hello?
Yes, we're with you, Muhammad Kabiru.
Are you hearing me?
Very clearly. Go ahead and make your contribution.
Yeah, you see, this topic you are treating is a good one. Some Nigerians are not aware of the migration laws and what is it. But due to inefficiencies of agencies, sometimes it leads Nigerians to whatsoever condition they find themselves outside the country. Then the issue of investigative journalism, we are overdue in that line. Sometimes our dear President Muhammadu Buhari challenged the media houses that they should engage themselves in investigative journalism, which is the best. And I believe as far as this generation is concerned, we need investigative journalism. So also we cannot put A where B is B. And if you look at your media house, you have tremendous followers based on the foundation of how ordinary president laid the foundation of that media house that is meant for truth. Whoever put this you pass out
very sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Due to the truth that you lay the foundation on. So we want all the media houses to also queue behind the truthful information being descended to Nigerians, so that we have a better nation and we have a good country to live in. This is my call.
That's appreciated of you.
We need our media houses. Whenever they are going out for their news part, they should give us the A is A, B is B. Nothing more. Because this time around, nothing like corruption again. It is all corruption that leads us to that level. So no corruption again. We are fighting it to the betterment of Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
All right, I'll let you go.
Human Rights Radio.
Thank you very much, Muhammad Kabir. Yes. We're talking about no corruption, no this, no that. Well, that's your own opinion there, and we appreciate your contribution, Muhammad Kabir. The number to call is 08033221149. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Who am I speaking
with? Good afternoon. Good afternoon to your guest in the studio.
Thank you very much.
My name is Kelvin. I'm calling from Otako.
All right, Kelvin.
And please, I have a question for your guest. I intend to study abroad, Europe specifically. I wish to know which of the European countries which of these visa also free and the cheapest in terms of air ticket, please. I would like to know.
All right, my guest is ready. The Celestine is going to take care of that.
Most European countries are not visa free. Most are not visa free, especially for Nigerian. Depending on where you are going to, there's nothing like cheap ticket. Depending on where you are going to, when you buy the ticket, and what are the penalties for the ticket. Every ticket has its own penalty. If you are buying a promo ticket, you are expected to use it within that time of that promotion. If you are somebody that normally can change your time at any time, you need to buy a unrestricted ticket. So the class of tickets and the destination you are going and at the time of your traveling will determine the price which you are buying your ticket. Because we have what we call high season, low season, and all the rest. So it depends on when you want to buy your ticket. And for most European countries, there's none that is visa free. I think if you are planning to migrate legally, you can visit one of the embassies of your interest. They have their requirements there to show you so that you will know. But I would want to discourage you because your questions is bordering of what we are talking about. Please don't migrate illegally. When you want to migrate legally, please visit any of the embassies with your requisite document, and please let the document be genuine document, because even those embassies are also giving us challenges and strenuous conditions, because most Nigerians are also approaching them with fake documents. So please, anything you want to embark on, let it be legit. Thank you.
All right, keep trying us. 08033221149. That's the number to call in and participate in this program. Hello.
Sorry, Kelvin calling back. Sorry, I wasn't asking for a free country with a free visa. The hustle free. Like you don't have to stress yourself, and visas you get easily, not the one you have to struggle like the United States visa.
Okay. There's no struggle actually, because almost all European countries have an alliance, and they almost require you to go through the same procedures because they are all close by border. So if you go to a country that you have easy entry, it's probably going to give the other country difficulty monitoring. So they all have almost similar and same requirement. The requirement there is your passport, your international passport, your letter of employment if you are employed, or your letter of introduction if you have a company of your own, your bank statement, and the other hotel reservation, flight reservation, and the rest of them. Their visa policies are similar, and they are not as difficult as you might think. It's just that the fear of people saying, this embassy is easy to get and this embassy is not easy to get. Why some embassies are easy is because of the rates at which Nigerians have migrated there illegally. So they tend to turn even genuine people down. It's not that they are all the same. It's just for you to get the actual and required documents.
All right, very professional counsel there from an expert, Celestine EJ. Now, the number still remains 08033221149. 08033221149. Call in and you have a question you wish to ask, or you have a word of counsel, or you just want to talk about this particular problem of human trafficking. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome.
My name is Ekene Njoku.
Okay, Mr. Ekene Njoku.
Please, I have a question for that guest.
Go ahead.
Are you talking?
Go ahead, Ekene.
Yeah. Please, how can somebody travel to any part of the world? Can somebody travel to any part of the world? I say, as in permanent, like other people normally.
That is travel to any country of the world and stay there permanently. Live there permanently.
And I feel like staying there, not coming to a country. Is it possible?
It's possible. Like a lot of countries have a lot of migration programs. Like there was a time the Americans were doing the American visa lottery, which allows you to permanently stay in America. There was a time during the Obama time, there were some people that were allowed to migrate permanently to America. Even in Canada, there are some migration programs. So you need to know the country you want to travel to and check out their migration program. There are some that allow you to migrate permanently. Then there are some over a period of time. If you have traveled over a period of time, you are given a kind of resident permit that allows you to stay, but you are not a citizen, or you cannot declare citizenship, but it allows you to stay as long as you want, and there's a privilege you are entitled to enjoy. But you are not a citizen of that country, you can stay permanently. But for you to stay permanently, you must have something that country is going to benefit. You are probably bringing a skill or a profession to that country. So there's no country in quotes that allows you to just stay there permanently without you being beneficiary to them. Thank you.
All right, we're running out of time here, and I just hope I can take just one more call before we say bye on the program today. 08033221149. Now here's our last caller. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes. Who is speaking, please? All right. Time is not on our side, so I just have to let this call go. Probably next time you call in and we will talk. Well, for now, Celestine, we are out of time. But in all of this today, and considering the series of questions that have been put across to you, it points to one thing. Many Nigerians want to go outside. Many Nigerians want to leave the country.
Many Nigerians, nobody would like to go to the other side and have a good life. Even me and you also, but we are just preaching for them to do it rightly, okay, and make sure that they know they are right. Because anywhere you go, migration is a right, and it's a fundamental human right. Anybody that impedes you or deny you that right has committed a crime against humanity. But for you also for your right also not to be denied, you have to migrate within the laws and regulation of that country. Ian, before we close, why I'm taking on the media is this. There was a recent documentary that was also done by a foreign media on drug abuse. It took a foreign media to bring the fore this. So I'm not hitting at the media just for nothing. I'm hitting at the Nigerian media to be up and doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much there to our resource person, my colleague Celestine EJ, for his very thoughtful perspectives, and of course, pointing out at the media. We need to do more and more and more. But I can assure you, as you keep listening to Human Rights Radio, you discover the fact that the media is indeed doing the best it could within, the circumstances it's working with. Well, that's about the size of the program for this week. I want to say very many thanks to those who called in and several who tried reaching us but were unable to get a good connection. Next week is going to be another time out on the program. That's Saturday, once again, at 3 p.m. Until then, my name is Inyene Ibanga, and once again, thanks to Celestine EJ. Bye, and God bless.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.